Jolie working on a game plan for if the United States takes a far-right authoritarian shift in next year's presidential elections. No mention of their loving embrace with the far-left communist dictatorship of China. This headline hit the news today. This is Canada mulling a game plan if the U.S. takes a far-right authoritarian shift. I guess insinuating Donald Trump becoming the president, you know, the far right, or perhaps somebody else on the Republican side. Because what is this whole concept of the far right? Well, you can find out if you're a subscribed member of the Globe and Mail, but every other outlet's going to publish this. So we'll get to the CTV's article in just a moment. But the internet, of course, is trending with far right. Why? Well, the past day and a half, they've been putting this message across that anybody who's not them is far right. And this is, it's just the new boogeyman, the new bad guy. What are you? You're the undescribable far right. There's no actual description of far right. It's just, if it feels far right, it's far right. Carl Benjamin putting this on there, also known as Sargon of Akkad. He's been around for ages, finally back on Twitter, I see. But we are rapidly approaching the point where the term far right harmonizes with the concept such as correct, good, and moral. This is just becoming all too common, and it's usually decent people that are being labeled far right. Well, here's Pierre Poilievre from yesterday being having a question forcibly insinuating a presupposition that he's dog whistling far right people of some sort.
Hello, Mr. Poilievre. A number of your own comments and actions have been characterized as dog whistling to the far right.
By who?
By a number of different. But I think it's been characterized by that way. But are you trying to court? Are you trying to court the far right?
Sorry, I just need to clarify. By who?
Yeah, by who?
By a number of different experts and a number of different people who are the
Spoiler, she doesn't give any experts. She doesn't say any of the people that she's insinuated were part of this whole thing. But who are the far right? Is this Donald Trump in the United States? Is this who we're so afraid of? Now, in the time when Donald Trump was president of the United States, we saw no new wars. We saw a pretty vibrant economy. Yeah, there was some turmoil between our, male feminist prime minister of Canada and the president because, there's he canceled some significant trade deals, which effectively made for better trade deals in the first place. I mean, it's been a long time that NAFTA and the free trade agreement of the Americas were terrible deals for most people in business in Canada. It just helps out, the buddies of a lot of politicians. So Donald Trump actually was quite beneficial to a lot of people, but this is the far right. This is why it's so fearful. But he may not even get in. We have no idea. They're still going to have their primaries to see who's going to become the Republican nominee. He's the front runner. He's the lead. But there is another guy coming up by the name of Vivek Ramaswamy. That's a mouthful. It's a tough one, but he speaks a lot of common sense, a lot of truth. And he was just interviewed on Tucker Carlson. Recommend anyone go check out that interview. Apparently it's only on X, which used to be Twitter. It's now X. I used to tell people I go to Twitter so you don't have to, but I've been recommending people go over there, join up, give me a follow. It's Clyde Do Something without the G. I didn't have enough characters to put the whole name in there. But yeah, come over, give a follow, and go check out this video of Tucker Carlson interviewing Vivek. He's speaking a lot of truth and a lot of based stuff. Why did they kick Donald Trump off social media in the first place? Well, it was largely because he was saying a lot of things that people wanted to hear out of a politician's mouth. And this is what's happening with Pierre Poilievre in the media. He's saying a lot of things that are genuinely concerns of the average Canadian. Now, is that far right? Is that how you describe a far right person? Usually it's just anti-establishment. But in this case, he's quite establishment. We're talking about Pierre Poilievre. He's not far right at all. So maybe the left is going so far left that it's getting ridiculous. It's getting to a point where they've gone over the deep edge. Oh, wait, what's this? Yes, they have gone over the deep edge, desperate to cover up the blatant collusion between Chinese and Canadian politicians, writes Andy Lee on Twitter, by throwing shade and trying to discredit far-right people like me, like she says. Pay no attention to the paid distractors. Treat them like the journalistic circus sideshows that they are. And she points out something that she had pointed out previously on Twitter. Liberal MP Melanie Joly meeting with Chinese billionaire president of China Cultural Industry Association and controversial Trudeau Foundation donor Zhang Bing in April of 2018 during a trade mission to Beijing. John McCallum was also president. No intersection though, right? No, right? And we're going to get into this in a future video. Probably next video that I publish is going to be the connections with the environment and climate change minister, none other than Steven Guilbeault, and his appointment in China. Isn't that strange that that's happening? But let's get into the story. Canada mulling game plan if U.S. takes far-right authoritarian shift, says Jolie. And this is, they put this little video here, looking back at the Trump-Trudeau relationship, of course.
There have been times where we have differed in our approaches, and that's always been done firmly and respectfully.
Was it? I don't know. They have this video compilation, and it's nothing really to shake a stick at. It's just times when Trudeau and Trump met together. Now, of course, their rhetoric is completely different from each other, but having this kind of rhetoric is actually quite dangerous. Ottawa Foreign Minister Melanie Joly says Canada has been considering a game plan for how it would respond to if the United States takes a far-right authoritarian shift after next year's presidential elections. We're certainly working on scenarios, she said. In French. She said this in French during an interview with Montreal radio station Wednesday. Jolie added that Ottawa's close political and economic ties to the U.S. means that we must certainly prepare for several scenarios. Well, yes, you should. It's our largest trading partner. I mean, this is just, it actually just gets to the point where it's kind of dangerous rhetoric. You know, there's such division in this country already as it is. But to try to divide us up with the United States, I know this is something that Daddy Trudeau, Pierre Elliott Trudeau, really enforced. He brought forward this idea that we're Canadian, we're this separate thing, and we don't share anything with the United States, and we should actually dislike them. I don't like this approach. I think we share so much with the United States, and they're our brothers of North America, and we're neighbors, and we should be very kind to each other. In fact, we put too many restrictions on our border and with trade that only hurt us as Canadians. It doesn't really hurt the United States, and it's really actually annoying in for the most part. She suggested Canada has a game plan, but a game plan in mind, but wouldn't get into details. In general, there's a game plan precisely to be able to manage what could be a rather difficult situation, she said. I'll work with my colleagues and with the mayors and the provincial premiers, with businesses, communities, and unions, with everyone in the country, so we are ready regardless of the election outcome. What wrong would happen if perhaps what we saw under Donald Trump, a much better economy than we currently have with Biden. If anything, that would do us much better. But hey, she doesn't really get into exactly what the problems are with the U.S. having someone on the right side of the aisle being a president. In fact, we've seen what in the past 8 years, between 4 years of Trump and almost 4 years of Biden, what the difference between the left and the right is. And I think we can make a clear, decisive decision on what is better in actuality. It was supposed to be Third World War when Donald Trump hit. You know, we all heard all of the fears of that coming into play, but it turned out that new wars didn't start until Biden came into office. So that was terrible. What are other people saying about this online? Tokyo Rosie saying, let's see, Canada has no military, no influence on the world stage, an economy that is completely dependent on the United States, and a raging idiot for a foreign affairs minister. I'd say your only game plan is to continue being an idiot. And this is serious. Like, you can't have this kind of rhetoric if you are a leader of our country. We represent 40 million people as opposed to the 300 million people to the south of us, a giant economy. We don't want to be making enemies with these people. I think it would be in our best interest to lay low on the rhetoric. We have Lieutenant Stephen Rogers, Republican senator. I think he's a senator from New Jersey, and he's piped into this. This woman needs a reality check instead of a game plan regarding the United States. She might want to tell us, the United States, about her game plan with the CCP. Her government has not gone far left or far right. It appears to be leaning communist, and this is what a lot of Canadians are generally worried about in this country with this the whole leanings towards communism and the interference with our own elections, the interference with our politicians. It's definitely of grave concern, and it should be for the United States. That should be a national security concern to have such collusion with China and the CCP happening just above their border in Canada here. JJ McCullough jumping in on this, saying this story is like 90% of quotes from some random professor. So I'll give the minister the benefit of the doubt, and that her comments are being mischaracterized. But if they aren't, this is a very irresponsible thing for a Canadian cabinet minister to say. So we don't know. Is she being mischaracterized, or is this sincere? Leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think. Clearly, she has marginal at best geopolitical acumen, says Concerned Canadian. She candidly has no comprehension of the consequences of what she is stating. But this is where we are here in Canada. I'd love to get you guys to leave a comment in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of this whole scenario. Blabbermouth here on our side of the border, saying all kinds of incendiary things about the upcoming election. This is after we've had 2 elections when there's been Chinese communist interference within our own electoral process. We shouldn't be shaking any sticks at our neighbors down south about what they may decide as voters. Anyway, leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what you think of all of this, and we'll see you in the next one. Keep on trucking.